Welcome back to Good Things. We're going to jump right into a topic that has been flooding timelines, TikTok, and quite frankly, it's been all over the place in our lives for a very long time. Yes, we are talking about plastic surgery. From before and afters of subtle tweaks here and there to full-on transformations that are beautifully astounding and intriguing, more people are opting in, and with so many options, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the worst.
I was going to say the botched.
We have the choice to either have or not have surgery, and that can raise a lot of questions about body image, about safety, and about ethics, and we got somebody here that's going to help us navigate it all.
Yes, we're so excited. So today, we are so happy to be joined by our special guest, Dr. Anita Kulkarni.
Yay.
She is an award-winning, board-certified plastic surgeon right here in Washington, D.C., with special interest in post-pregnancy body contouring. That's really important, and it's
Can't
right.
Imagine why we'd need that.
I mean, but it's right on the cusp of what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
But she has been consistently ranked among Washington, D.C.'s best plastic surgeons and brings an artistic and technical eye to each of her cases. As the founder of D.C. Plastic Surgery Boutique, Dr. Kulkarni set out not only to bring beauty to the world, but to bring life to her vision of creating an aesthetic practice for women by women.
Love that.
Believing that both surgical and non-surgical treatments should not only enhance your beauty in a natural way, but also here and here.
Love it.
Dr. Kulkarni, thank you for being here.
Of
Welcome to
course.
Good Things, DC.
Thank you for having me.
We're so excited.
My favorite topic.
I don't think Britt's ever been so excited for a guest.
Oh, I've been prepping for this all day.
I was just going to say her whole life.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. I would
Yeah.
agree.
Viewers, if it turns into a personal consult, you'll have to give me grace.
Don't, just leave the comments like later. But of course, we're going to have like a gazillion questions.
Yeah. Sure.
We're going to try to get into as much as we can, but I know that we're going to get like all the information just because you're so thorough. And I think that's one of the best things about what you do is that you make it not only digestible to every patient, but really to the world. And so I think that's where a lot of times sometimes people get lost in their understanding of what things are, how it happens, what to do, should I do it, all of these things. But I think the most common misconception, at least that I think and that I've seen that people have, is like, one, it's not for me because either one, it's too expensive, or I am not the right candidate. What are some of the biggest misconceptions that you think there are about plastic surgery?
So I have a very niche practice.
Yeah.
My practice, I pretty much only do mommy surgery, which is breast, belly, liposuction after the body changes in pregnancy, after babies, right? And I would say at least 75% of my patients will sit in my office and say, I'm not somebody who ever would have considered plastic surgery. I did not think I would ever do this, but pregnancy changed my body in ways that I couldn't even have imagined. And now I'm 5 years, I'm 10 years out from my last baby.
And it's not going back.
And I mean, I
don't like it.
I hear it all the time. I look in the mirror and I don't recognize the body standing in front of me. And I think, pregnancy and motherhood, it's such a journey, and it's you completely give your body over to this process.
Right.
And
So
you've done it
true.
recently, you all have done it also. And you completely give your body over, you breastfeed, you're tethered to this baby, and it just, your body just, it
like,
doesn't,
great word.
Effie's right back there.
your body just doesn't belong to you. And if you have more than one child, then it's a period of, a couple years for the first kid, couple years for the second kid. Now it's 5-6 years later, and you haven't felt ownership of your body in so long.
Correct.
And then you finish, and you come out on the other end, and you just don't recognize the woman in the mirror. And I think that it's such an emotional journey for women, and so many women cry in my office because they're finally sitting here, they're finally doing something for themselves, And the other big thing about motherhood is, after you're done with the body part, you give your whole soul to this baby. Right? Like, it's not just your body. It's everything. It's you're running your household. You're taking care of these children, and I think women often lose their own sense of womanhood, their own sense of self.
Absolutely.
And so by the time they come to see me, they're sort of through all that, and for the first time, maybe in 5 or 10 years, they're ready to focus on themselves again. And so it's such a beautiful journey, when they finally make that decision to do something for themselves. And the plastic surgery you hear about in the media is so it's so big and it's so dramatic and sometimes it's so extreme.
Yes.
And the plastic surgery that we do in my practice and in my office, like it's such a bringing back of the woman to herself, you know, and I want women to feel at home in their bodies again.
It's not about changing who you
Absolutely
are,
not.
who you were. It's about kind of almost like coming back home.
It's restoration, it's restorative.
Okay, so that leads me to my question.
Yeah.
You went right into it.
Yeah.
Okay. So in an age of certain celebrity influencers
Yeah.
who have had multiple things done, how do you tailor clients' expectations, right? So if I came in and I was like, I want you to make me look like, I don't know
XYZ.
who. XYZ.
Yeah, no,
How do you
for
tailor
sure.
those expectations, you know, and really make sure they're getting what they want, but also something that's obtainable?
Yes. So, you know, the only thing plastic surgery can do is give a woman the best version of herself. I can't give you somebody else's body. It's surgery. It's not magic, right? I think I'm very fortunate that in my practice, because I mostly operate on moms who are trying to come back to themselves, people generally have pretty realistic expectations.
Love that.
Oh,
And
great.
it makes
Way
for
to
a
go,
really,
mommies.
I mean, right? Like, of course they're doing it right. People have very realistic expectations.
Yeah.
They're just trying to get back where they were. They just want to feel like themselves again. But you're right. Every once in a while, somebody will have like super unrealistic expectations, and then I use my standard line, which is it's surgery. It's not magic.
Right.
There we go.
Let me go sterilize my magic wand, and we'll just get right into it. You know.
I'm a surgeon, not a magician.
Not a
right.
magician.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Now skip that class.
You talked earlier and you explained kind of what a mommy makeover is, right? It's breasts,
belly, lipo. Usually,
Okay.
yeah.
And when you have women come to you, you said sometimes they're in tears and they're just trying to get back to themselves. Do you find that a lot of your clients have like almost tried everything else, the working out, the nutrition, and
100%.
it's like, I just can't get it back?
Yes.
Because I will tell you, I have a 15-year-old and a 10-year-old, and I'm trying to figure out when I'm going to get it back.
Yes.
And it's
I'll
unlikely.
tell you, there is a national conversation that we are not having about the anatomic changes of pregnancy that are permanent, that happen to women's bodies. So the most common one that really sort of flummoxes women is when your muscles in your abdominal wall separate, which is called diastasis recti.
Yeah.
And when that happens because your muscles are stretchy, but there's a band between your muscles that's not stretchy. It's called your fascia.
Right.
And then when you stretch with pregnancy, all that stuff stretches out, right? Because you get this big belly. And then it goes back down, and the muscles are dynamic. When you work out your muscles, you can make them strong again. But the strip in between, when it stretches out like a rubber band. And if you stretch it once, it's still a little stretchy. You stretch it again, it's a little less stretchy. And if you are older when you have your babies and your elastin's not as good anyway, it can separate permanently. And if your muscles separate permanently, you get like a permanent 3 months or 6 month pregnant look. And that is something that you actually cannot exercise away. And that is something that a lot of women don't know about. So they come in and they say, my baby's 10 and I still look 3 to 6 months pregnant when I look flat in the morning, I drink a glass of water,
Oh my
and
God,
then I
I love
look
that part.
3 to 6 months pregnant.
Why do I
Yes.
have a different body in the
the end of the
morning than I
day.
do in the
I
afternoon
mean,
or the
exactly.
evening?
Listen, as
Hydration.
someone who personally understands this, and I mean, I fully embrace the benefits of post-pregnancy plastic surgery because, I mean, it speaks to me. Literally, I think when I first met Dr. Kulkarni, what she just said and how she explained it is literally what spoke to my heart, because I was just like, it was like
it the
light
first
bulb.
time you ever heard it? Because that's the
Yes.
first time I ever heard
It was the first
permanent what did you say? Permanent anatomical changes
Yeah.
post-pregnancy?
Yeah.
Never heard that phrase before.
Yeah, no, it was definitely like the light bulb, because I'll never forget, and in saying, like, I was like, when I wake up in the morning, I was like, I would always schedule photo shoots, like
First thing in the morning.
Can I do it at 6? That would be
I have
great.
my breakfast.
Because literally no food. Literally by noon, it looked like I had eaten a whole Subway sandwich, and I was like, I
Kenosha
drank
would not
water.
have, by the way. That would be Leia. Who would eat that?
Yeah, but I mean, it's literally just that drastic.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, having that explanation. But let me ask you, what would you say? Because I think, just like what you said, you know, you have the women that are like, oh, I'm doing everything, I've done everything. Somebody has told me that I can just get this fixed if I rub some gel on it, or if all the things,
come the
right?
magicians.
What would you say to someone, though, who is so critical, not only about themselves, but about the prospect of possibly doing plastic surgery to really assist with something like, for instance, something like that, that obviously that would probably need to be the route unless they're, you know, fine with accepting it. Like, what would you say to them about?
To the critics in their lives?
Yeah.
I would say, you only get to decide for you. Like, it is like, literally none of your business what I do for me and what you do, you know. And I think that there is a lot of judgment around plastic surgery. And that's why I'm so grateful to all of you for having this conversation out loud and on TV. Because there is going to be a lot of women at home that are like, oh my God, yeah, that's me. And that's why all the women sit in the office and say, I never would have considered plastic surgery, and now I've got this 3 to 6 month pregnant looking belly, and I've done everything. I've done the Pilates, I've done the physical therapy, I've strengthened my core, I've done it all, and it's not going away. And so, I mean, that's what I would say is you only get to decide for you. You know, it's like when sometimes I do breast augmentation as well. I put in breast implants, and sometimes I'll have a partner or a husband sitting in the office, and the woman will be looking at sizes, and she'll say, oh, I like the 250, I like the 275, and the husband will be like, no, 350, 375, and I'll say to him, sir, I will put in whatever implants are in your body. Whatever you want, my friend, I will put in your body. She gets to decide for her.
That's amazing. No,
you can pay the bill. You can't choose the size.
Absolutely. Well, I know we have we could literally ask you 3,000 questions because
we'll have my private consult.
Come see me over in the restaurant.
Or maybe we can just cross our fingers and we can ask Dr. Kulkarni to come
back.
Give us another visit again. We'd love, because you've given us so much information. You've given us so much to think about. You've given our viewers so much to think about. And I think, just as you said, you've allowed them to probably hear and be in a space, not only that's safe, and I think that's number one, but also to feel, again, like they're not alone. And I think that's one of the most important things to even begin the conversation, even before you might want to take a step, but also that will also assist in helping to ask those questions and to kind of bring it full circle. But thank you so much for being with us, sharing your talent, sharing your expertise. And I encourage you, if you are interested in learning more about plastic surgery, about mommy makeovers, about anything that has to do with your body, your health, your mind, your wellness, ask, because you're not going to get it by just holding it all inside. And sometimes I think having that shame
or sitting around and judging someone else who has done it
correctly is the thing that really kind of keeps us back from sometimes just being our best selves, living our best life. So, you know, we need that freedom.
Absolutely.
So I thank you once again, but I also want to remind you all that facts are freedom. So,
I love it.
and we're here for all of that. But until then, we all would like to remind you to
please love one another.
Always be kind.
And always do good things. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.